Okay. I would lose my pen.
All right, let's go. All right. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the SableAssent Tech Tour podcast. I am your host, Marlena D. Evans, and we are here with a very special guest, Miss Alexis Harris. We are so happy to be back. We are here every Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Register your Black-owned businesses and nonprofits at www.sableassent.com. for no cost. Make sure you do that. Make sure you register your Black-owned businesses and nonprofits at www.SableAssent.com. We'll get started shortly and we'll be right back.
A new day has come. SableAssent is taking your business around the world at no cost. We are connecting Black businesses in one global community, transacting with one currency, Stablecoin, creating one economy. Remember, you are not alone. A digital world is here. Register your business today at SableAssent.com.
Hey, we are here with Miss Alexis Harris. How are you today? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Miss Alexis Harris, can you hear me? We're going a little in and out. Let's see if your mic is on mute. Let's see. Nope. Can you speak now? I can't hear you.
Okay.
Your microphone was going in and out some.
I see a dialogue box.
Okay,
are you able to hear me?
All right, now I can hear you. How are you this evening?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm doing well. How are you all doing tonight?
All right, awesome. We're happy to have you. Now, we know that you are CEO of Harrison Associates, and we wanted you to tell us a little bit about what you all do and what you offer. So let's start there.
Well, thank you so much for having us on your show tonight. We're excited to be here. In a nutshell, Harrison Associates, we introduce people to people in a time of digital and social interactions. We actually use our human skills and behaviors to connect individuals and businesses to the things that they need as gaps in services. And we do that through something I created called the 3 strategic Ps. And so that's strategic planning, strategic partnerships, and strategic positioning, because you cannot align yourself for good partnerships without good positioning. So we're able to fill gaps in services utilizing the 3 Ps, and we also promote harm reduction in the community. For those of you who aren't familiar with harm reduction, it's simply teaching people how to stop participating in harmful behaviors, such as stigma, judgment, criminalizing people, and just ultimately participating in behaviors that do not serve our community positively.
That is awesome. I really do love that mission. I mean, that's awesome for you all to even think of that. I mean, you all are really great innovators. That is wonderful. Now, what made you start Harrison Associates? How did you all get started? What made you get into this field?
Well, honestly, my dad had this company in the 90s. And so I came to Georgia in like 1996 to visit him, and he took me to all of his Chamber of Commerce events. So then I came back in 2000, and we used to kill the Chamber of Commerce events together, like just making sure we got every single card, that we introduced ourselves to every single person in the room. And so it really lit a fire in me as far as business. So he kind of let it die down and went on to other ventures, and I couldn't get over Harrison Associates. So I brought it back to life, in 2015, specifically in the hemp and cannabis space. We just knew a lot of people and we wanted to bring it together. And I knew it had to be done underneath a business entity. And so I brought it back to life. And here we are in 2020, Harrison Associates LLC.
Hey, I'm proud of you guys. And you are doing great things, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, they are doing wonderful things over there at Harrison Associates. Now, can you give us some ways we can enhance our brand, like a couple of pointers that we can enhance our brand? Because I know you all specialize in that, or ways you can help us.
Absolutely. The best way to expand or grow your brand is starting with yourself by being accountable. Oftentimes we don't hear that in our business lesson. And if you can't be real with yourself, your business is going nowhere. Let me tell you that fast.
Preach.
So start with self accountability. That's the first thing, because when I tell you I've been exposed to so many people that they really don't do much of anything, it's like you're not accountable with yourself, therefore you can't be accountable with others. And so that puts people in bad business situations when you're presenting yourself to be able to do something that you just simply can't do. And it's okay if you can't do something. That's why we fill gaps in services, because for what you don't do, somebody else does professionally. Outside of that, I would suggest researching the field that you want to enter. A lot of times, especially in our culture, because we have so much spirit and soul, we could come right. So things just kind of flow and go, and it just keeps going and going, and we don't have any actionable items, timelines to hold ourselves accountable to, so it kind of gets lost in the wind. So really writing your thoughts and goals down and being intentional in your actions, researching what you want to do instead of just going head in because you think it's a good idea. And then ultimately figuring out how you can get finance or funded for what you're trying to do while
I think can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think we froze a little bit, Miss Harris. We froze a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a little break. She was giving some great pointers. Make sure you register your Black-owned businesses and nonprofits at www.
Any way.
She was coming in and out. That's okay. We'll come back on it. We know it's the holiday. A lot of people are on the internet. Please make sure you register your Black-owned businesses and nonprofits at www.SableAssent.com. And we'll be right back.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Stablecoin has taken off and we are coming to your community. We are partnering with industries, real estate, agriculture, minerals, energy, and many more. Let's get ahead of the trend. Paper money is a thing of the past. The future of money is digital, decentralized, and moving light speed on a blockchain. SableAssent is created to empower consumers, nonprofits, and business owners in a global Black economy. Now is the time when we buy back our communities. Own your currency today at SableAssent.com.
Free Savage. You know, I always say look for the most beautiful thing inside the ugly, and that's where you'll find me. Every time. Yeah. A war is definitely coming. Who got the spirit of Harriet Tubman? Who's protecting your family covenant? Shit, who ready to shoot with the government? Who got a garden of food, man? Who know how to sharpen tools, man? Who know how to till the soil? Shit, who know how to
A new day has come. SableAssent is taking your business around the world at no cost. We are connecting Black businesses in one global community, transacting with one currency, Stablecoin, creating one economy. Remember, you are not alone. A digital world is here. Register your business today at SableAssent.com.
And we are back. We are back with Miss Alexis Harris. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Perfecto. Perfecto. Okay, so you were on our, we left off with you on our second way that we can enhance our brand. So I know you had about a few ways to share with us. So what's the number 2 again?
I did not write it down. What
But
was the
you
lesson
left off on you left off on really good points. I don't know if you remember them, but if you didn't, we can go to the next question.
One was accountability. I remember
Yes,
saying that, being self-accountable, so you can be real with others and be real with yourself. So then we can progress in business, without you holding people up because you can't be real with yourself. 2, being structured in business, making sure that you do research and development before you just enter any old field because you think it's a good idea. You should always do research and development.
Love that point. Love it.
And I think the third thing was being able to provide financially for your business to some capacity. Otherwise, you come off as a charity case. A lot of times I see people saying, I deserve because, and nobody from a psychological standpoint likes to be approached like that. If somebody asks you today for some money and say, I need this amount of money because I deserve it, I don't think any of us would like that. So it's the approach and the communication styles that we utilize to get what we need. And that's why strategy is so important. And that's why we have the 3 strategic P's for our clients.
Love that. Love that. Now, what does your role as a strategic partner of the National Women in Agriculture Association? What do you do there? That is so interesting. And I'm proud of you for having that as well.
Thank you so much for acknowledging them. They are an amazing organization. The National Women in Agriculture is in over, I think, 30-something states. It's really over 30. I'm quoting a old number because this year alone, Miss Tammy has entered some more states into her database. And then we have Georgia Women in Agriculture ran by Miss Noreen Whitehead, and she is amazing. If you don't know her, you should. They're the Georgia Women in Ag, and you can Google them. But Miss Noreen, I work with her directly. We do community outreach. She took me to Washington, D.C. for the first time, where we were able to sit down with all 12 leaders of every sector of the USDA. And they took their time to speak with us. We are a double minority group because we're women of color and also women. So based off of their standards, we would be considered a double minority. And so that's beautiful in itself that they can command that type of power when they go up to Washington, D.C. and sit inside the U.S. Department of Agriculture and call every single leader of every single department. Everybody can't do that. And so what they do is make sure that the youth are informed about agriculture. A lot of times we have what I call PTSD, and that's post-traumatic slave disorder. Which means we don't want any type of association to the dirt or growing. It's like, I'm not a cotton picker. It's like, but you need cotton to make pants and shirts, so somebody has to do the job. And so what does that translate into? Are we going to have respect? Back to the harm reduction. Are we going to have respect for people for where they're at and know what and how to utilize them? Or are we going to judge them and belittle them because of our own lack of comprehension?
Yeah. And also, are we going to have healthy food? We need to know what we're eating and we need to be educated on that, especially now, all of the chemicals in our foods, and we're just going to accept what they give us. So we do need to be involved in that field, so that's That's major. That's major.
They actually really opened my eyes because I went basically on a farm tour as far as going on conferences and touring different properties, and I didn't realize how much I didn't know until I was in the fields. Like, what is I think it's called a persimmon. We were like, oh, look at those tomatoes on the table, and they're like, that's a persimmon, and I'm like, what's a persimmon? And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm from San Diego, California. I'm like, I eat mango with chili powder on it. That's what I do. I don't know about a persimmon, but they taught me about it. So I learned more and more about what I call real food. My children call it real food because we are exposed to it thanks to National Women in Agriculture and Troop Farms and Georgia West Farmers Co-op. Like, there's so many different agricultural groups educating the community, and we just have to make sure we do the work for them because they're in the soil. They don't have time for the community outreach and stuff, not without collaboration.
Wow, that's awesome to know. When we get off of this, make sure you put in the comments, how we can, research that and have, be able to click a button and go check them out. We definitely need to be more involved in that. Now, you are a part of hemp and cannabis business, and I know a lot of people are mixed signals about it, but a lot of people have been healed. A lot of great things have been happening with it. So I wanted to know some ways you believe that we can heal and benefit from those things, hemp and cannabis. How?
Well, there are two different types of the same species, basically. So you have the female version of the plant and the male version of the plant. So hence you have hemp and you have cannabis. But both of them have something or chemicals within it, plant chemicals, which are called cannabinoids in it. And then inside your body, you have something called a endocannabinoid system, similar to a lymphatic system, your circulatory system, or your digestive system. There's literally a system in your body that aligns with the chemicals that these plants make. And so there are health benefits as a result of your body activating its endocannabinoid system. And what I learned from the different conferences that I did and symposiums that I held was most doctors were not informed about endocannabinoid systems, which is why they could not speak to positively, if at all, about the benefits of these plants because one, they were criminalized, back to that harm reduction part of it. They were criminalized. They colorized certain actions and behaviors associated with the plant, and then ultimately omitted this part of education from Western medicine. So when we speak about endocannabinoid systems, it's almost foreign to even medical professionals. And so when you don't have a white coat on, most people don't want to trust what you're saying, but I can tell you my grandma was on her deathbed and she had well, there were multiple things that happened in one instance before she was on her deathbed. She had a hole in her chest, a live hole in her chest from her chemo and everything. And so one of the shaman helped me make a salve from cannabis, and it closed the hole in her chest. I tell people, I say one day just so I don't sound like it was make believe, but I promise you it felt like in just a couple of hours that hole was closed in her chest. And so we went back to the doctor and they said, well, how did you do it? I said, isn't she paying you for this visit?
Okay.
I didn't go to school and spend the same amount of money as you. And she still has to pay for this appointment. However, you didn't know how to close the hole in her chest. So it really opened my eyes for me to become an activist and an advocate for the plant because it became deeper than understanding that one, you have an endocannabinoid system, but two, that it does wonders for your body. And my shaman always tells me cannabis and hemp does not cure anything. It does not. What it does is push your body into homeostasis because your body has the ability to cure all things in itself if you give it the space to do so. But when you cause dis-ease in your body by having poor nutrition or by having poor behavioral standards, then you will have disease in your body and you will be out of homeostasis and you will become ill. So by balancing your nutrition and having your endocannabinoid system activated, you're able to reach homeostasis. Therefore, you're able to combat disease. And that's the bottom line when it comes to the plant and other herbs that aligned with the cannabinoid system.
Wow, wow, wow. We're getting valuable information here, ladies and gentlemen, from Miss Alexis Harris, CEO of Harris and Associates. We are going to take a small break. Please make sure you register your Black-owned businesses and nonprofits at www.SableAssent.com. Hit like, hit subscribe, share for me, please. I am your host, Marlena D. Evans. I am wearing the unique earrings from www.trendingmde.com. We are open. I have the cable bracelets. I can't get it in the camera for some reason. It's like how it is. So I gotta like hold my arm and show you guys later. But we will be right back.
All right. So here are our issues. I shouldn't say problem. I like the word issues because my mom and dad always said issues can be solved with either time or money. Problems cannot be solved with time or money. Problems are things like, I got cancer, right? I need to get my leg chopped off. But issues are things that can be solved with time or money. So these are issues, unfortunately, that have plagued our community for hundreds of years. Number one, we have the highest number of unbanked people. Basically means, now we're not talking about the United States only. Everything that we talk about on this call today affects a population of 1.4 to 1.5 billion Blacks worldwide, okay? Yes, the majority of us are in America, but we have people on this line now from Haiti. I'm already looking. Haiti, Nigeria, Ghana. I see Jamaica here. I see Manchester. I see UK. I see many countries of people on this phone right now. So what you're about to see, guys, is representing 1.5 billion people. Okay. Secondly, we have the lowest level of capitalization. That means that we have the lowest level of dollars going actually into our businesses. Okay. The statistic is less than 0.5% of any VC, seed funding, venture capital, banking, any dollars go into any women-owned or Black-owned businesses. Okay, the money's there, they're just not giving it to us. Okay, and lastly, the next thing is circulation. Okay, there's probably some Black Wall Street members on the call here today. So you understand the currency circulation model, right? 6 hours is the number that the Black community states that the dollars circulate through our community, right? And then lastly, this one is very dear to my heart. It is the limitations on the opportunities for us to connect globally in finance and business relations. Okay, they are restricting us at a higher level from connecting with each other. Okay, and this system that you're about to see solves all these issues. Okay.
And we are back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the SableAssent Tech Tour podcast. I am your host, Marlena D. Evans, and we are back with Miss Alexis Harris. I was trying to show you the cable bracelets. Let's see. How can the arm go? Yes,
that is nice.
You see it? I
mean,
why can't I get the camera right here, Alexis?
You're gonna have to bling bling us like this. Just bling bling.
No. At www.trendingmde.com, the unique earrings. Register your Black-owned businesses at www.SableAssent.com. Your Black-owned nonprofits. We want to hear from you. We want to highlight your business. If you just joined us, make sure you start from the beginning. She has dropped some wonderful, wonderful nuggets and gave us some really good advice. Okay. So now I really appreciate you all, Alexis, for accepting SAC1, for, just registering your Black-owned businesses with us. And I just wanted to commend you all for that. And I just wanted to ask you what made you accept SAC1, the currency that will eliminate poverty in the Black communities worldwide. It's our currency. So I just wanted to ask you all what made you all accept SAC1.
This is such a multi-level question for me, because I'm a halfway hippie. Let me throw that out there to your listeners. I'm halfway hippie, so everything I do always starts with spirit first and physical manifestation secondly. And so I was speaking to Corey Henry, who is on your team. I know him from, yes. Shout out Corey. Thank you so much for introducing me to Stablecoin. He just kept posting about it, and I was like, there's something here. I need to research it more. So then me and Corey had a phone conversation when really I had a spiritual awakening as far as our people and our relationship with money. Let's start with when did the FDIC even get started? It got started in 1933. That's when it got started. Where did it get started? Don't quote me on this, but I know there's a picture in the Georgia State Capitol where they have a bankers meeting at Jekyll Island in Georgia, where all the bankers met to say, hey, we're going to distribute these dollar bills that we gonna print. And in that picture, there's nobody our color. So naturally, we would not be close to this money because we weren't at the meeting where they said, hey, I'm going to print the money and you're going to distribute the money. So let's put it into perspective as far as the source of what's going on with this money. This is why we're far removed from it, not because we don't have value, not because we don't deserve it, not because we've misused it, not just because we've not been included in something. We didn't print this money. We're not the source of this thing. Listen to what I'm saying, because ultimately it's just a fiat dollar. The value we put behind it comes from our consciousness, comes from our spirit, comes from our moral aptitude. Once we understand the value of how we want to transcend or liquidate that fiat dollar. Listen to what I'm saying. So in this conversation with Corey, I'm like, I don't really understand cryptocurrency, Corey. Can you please explain this cryptocurrency? Because I can't touch it. I can't feel it. There's no psychological reinforcement of what we're talking about. And by the time we got done with our hour and 30-minute long conversation, I understood one thing very clearly, is that all human behaviors are tokenized. And through tokenization, and let me give you a clear example of that. If you spend an amount of time in an institution, you get a token, also called a degree. If you stay at a job long enough, you get a token. It might be a director, an executive, a this or that. So you're getting tokenized for your value. And that translates into data, which is numbers. And that could either be your performance data or it could be your revenue data, which is how much money you've generated for the company or how much they've paid out to you. So that's a whole nother level of conversation and communication. We need to understand that, because when you're talking about money, when you're talking about dollars, when you're talking about quantitative data, feelings go out the window. Logic go out the window. It's about the algorithms to what you're trying to get.
If you don't preach, Alexis, come on now.
So when he told me about Stablecoin, it was one, bringing value to our community and being able to tokenize the value within our community, because we know we're valuable, we know we're talented, we know we're qualified, but it's not translating in this financial world. And ultimately, it's my belief it's because we've been speaking the wrong language. We have not studied the dollars, the monetary language enough to say the algorithm to get the liquidation we've been seeking. Not we have been devalued and thus we are victims of a system. I don't believe in the mindset of victimization. Not saying bad things aren't happening. My point is we are God bodies and can create at any point of inception, meaning value from within with your spirit. That's all these tokens are. That's all a dollar bill is. It's liquidating the value of your spirit and time and saying, I need to be able to get what I want. And these are psychological reinforcements saying you can get what you want. And I said, Corey, I'm buying into the value of what I see of everybody on your team, the countries that you've been into, because it's over 100 countries that are participating in this coin. There
Yes.
are nodes that will be in Atlanta soon. Back to that psychological reinforcement. You need to know that it's real. You want to touch a screen, go to the node. Now you can see your Sable coin. Now you can go manage your digital reality, because that's what we're looking at right now. I'm looking at a screen. You're looking at a screen.
That's
We're
right.
in real time living, but this is a digital reality that we can manipulate for emotions to tokenize the value we want to transcend.
That's
And
right.
so stablecoin is giving us the fiat dollars we didn't get in the first round.
That's
That's
right.
what stablecoin is doing. It is
We
giving us
will
the
not be left
psychological.
behind.
That's right.
We will not. We are not for sale, and it's been a mission, and it is a journey, but we will not be left behind. Like you said, it will be nodes all around the world. We are connected. We are able to transact amongst each other globally, and our value will continue to get more and more and better and better. And you just said it just perfect. I want to just take that part out and just keep it with me, just to send the people right there. Spoken
This
well.
is currency. We can see that this is current. See, can you see what's going on? Things are changing. That dollar ain't gonna be good, and you need to get this stable coin. Y'all
That's
better
right.
understand.
That's right. That's right. Now, we appreciate that. Now, you are a mother and a successful businesswoman, and you do so much, from agriculture to running your company, and you also are a mother. And I just wanted to get some pointers for the listeners of how you balance it all. Give us a few pointers with the kids and, work and things like that. How do you keep it going? How do you achieve so much?
Man, you acknowledging that just makes me feel good. I told you I ran in the house and I'm like, I'm here for the call with my hat on and everything. I'm like, don't come in my room. Mommy's about to work. If you have any questions, send a note under the door. If it's an emergency, knock twice.
That's right.
But
Okay.
it all boils down to preparing by planning. We have to plan. Like I said, I knew my computer died. I'm on my cell phone right now. It was dying earlier. I went and bought a 10-foot cable cord to charge this.
Yes.
It's just planning and preparing for anything that could happen and making sure that you have a contingency plan if things go wrong or you need to realign.
Yes.
That's a lot of things.
And then
create. Yeah. I would say set intentions too, because I used to be real bad about like real airy fairy, just like it is what it is. But we still have to create intentions, even if it is what it is. You have to set intention on what you want. Otherwise, you're just going to get what the universe gives you. And sometimes that's not desirable
at all if you're letting somebody else choose your life and what you should experience. So you're so right. Now, now I know you want to build a bridge, in certain industries, and I want you to go about that. I noticed that about you. You're saying we need to build certain bridges to be able to, do certain things. Can you kind of elaborate on that? Like what bridge you feel like need to be built, and what's your plan, your team's plan?
Ultimately, it's really getting into the community and restructuring our behaviors.
Yes.
And so it's done through business, through programs, and through initiatives. But ultimately, I have a spiritual goal, and that's just helping heal my community. We are having just miscommunication problems, and that's as simple as it is. We're trying to make it bigger than what it is with all of our emotions and feelings, which are valid and we can talk about, but a lot of people aren't able to talk. They don't stand by their word. They're liars right now. They're able to front or flex. They can have several different profiles or personas of themselves. A lot of people just aren't showing up and being their best selves. And so I had to look at myself like, are you showing up and being your best self?
Right.
Are you doing the best that you can? Versus I was on the pro black tip for like 3 years really hard. Like, look what they're doing to us. And after a while, that gets real tiring. Like we know for all of history, all of eternity, that certain groups of people have caused harm on every single community. This is a known fact now. So what point do we stop marching around being angry and come up with a success plan for ourselves, such as creating a tokenized dollar like Stablecoin?
Yes.
versus saying, I don't have none of those fiat dollars. You said I'm going to make my own tokenized
Yeah.
currency because that's a real possibility.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So we had a ball speaking with you, Miss Alexis Harris. You are awesome. A ball of fun. I mean, and we learned so much. How can we get in touch with you? How can we utilize your services? Just let us know how we can get in touch with you in case anybody want to reach out.
Well, right now I am seeking collaborative partners for anybody who wants to build community initiatives, again, for harm reduction. I'm also willing to help you get your LLC if you are wanting to own your own business or get started. That could be done very simply, and businesses are very easy to get started, but it's extremely hard to maintain and keep it going. So if you're serious about it and you're ready to get started, you can visit me on my website at www.consultingharris.com. That is also my Instagram and IG. You can also send an email to H&A consultations with an S at gmail.com. And I will send a reply, but I prefer you go to my website and book your free initial consultation. Yes, I give out free initial consultations because I want to make sure that both of our times are utilized well, and you can do that at my website. Again, that's www.consultingharris.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Marlena D. Evans, and we are here every Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you chime back in next week. Make sure you register your Black-owned businesses and nonprofits at www.SableAssent.com. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share. We want to hear from you. Make sure you leave us a comment so we can say hello. And you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Marlena. Bye, guys.
You're so welcome. Thank you. You're awesome.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Stablecoin has taken off, and we are coming to your community. We are partnering with industries, real estate, agriculture, minerals, energy, and many more. Let's get ahead of the trend. Paper money is a thing of the past. The future of money is digital, decentralized, and moving light speed on a blockchain. SableAssent is created to empower consumers, nonprofits, and business owners in a global Black economy. Now is the time when we buy back our communities. Own your currency today at SableAssent.com.